Next, we have Larry Nelson.
Thank you. Well, I am currently the Waukesha County Supervisor for District Number 18. And my first question, and please be honest, how many of you know who your county supervisor is? Okay, that's pretty good, because unlike alderman and mayor, it seems very few people know who your supervisor is, and I would encourage you to go to the city's website, type in your address, and it'll tell you your alderman, your supervisor, your state rep, your state senator. But am I correct in thinking most of you live in the city of Waukesha? Can I see hands? Okay, so I can tell you I am one of 4 supervisors who represent the city. The others are Supervisor Mike Crowley, Supervisor Kathy Cummings, and Supervisor Dwayne Paulson. So depending on where you live, one of the 4 of us represent you on the county board, which is made up of 25 supervisors. And what I'm gonna try to do in my short time is tell you about 3 things that you may or may not know about that are related to my duties as a county supervisor. My first topic is CDBG, which stands for Community Development Block Grant. How many people have ever heard of this program? Okay, pretty good. Well, when you hear that government doesn't work, I'm here to tell you that this is a federal program that has been around for many years that works extremely well. I chair the Waukesha County CDBG board, which is made up of myself, Supervisor Chuck Wood, and about 10 other citizens. And we meet monthly, but the big thing we do in May, we meet for about 10 hours, and about 25 nonprofits come before us, and they have to fill out a lengthy form to say they'd like money for, last May it was for this year, 2018, and they have to say, here's what our nonprofit does, here's how we're gonna help people, here's what our budget is, and then the 12 of us, we score these sheets, and then we meet and we come to an agreement as to what kind of money they get. And just to give you some idea, we have provided funding for over 20 nonprofit agencies that provide services to low and moderate income individuals and their families. Some of them include Hebron House, Salvation Army, Hope Center, Women's Center, Easter Seal, St. Joe's Medical Clinic, the Food Pantry, the Lake Area Free Clinic, the Waukesha County Community Dental Clinic, Big Brothers Big Sisters, the Literacy Council, Richards Place, Family Promise, and the 5 senior taxi services. And last year we helped over 500 homeless individuals, 1,500 adults received meals, over 2,000 adults and children received health or dental care, and the numbers go on. So that's a great program, and I will tell you the current administration proposed to eliminate it. On your behalf, we wrote to our senators and our congressmen, and there has been bipartisan support to continue that program. So that's something, the city has its own CDBG fund, and they fund programs in the city. Okay, the second thing I'd like to tell you about is the Bridges Library System. How many people have heard of the Bridges Library System? Okay, well, it's only existed for a little bit over a year, because 2 years ago, one of my responsibilities as a supervisor, I served on the Waukesha County Federated Library System Board. This is a board that oversees all the libraries in Waukesha County. Well, 2 years ago, we had a proposal from Jefferson County they wanted to become part of our system. And after 6 months of discussions and meetings, we voted to let them join us. And the new library system is called Bridges, because we're trying to connect people with information. And before you leave tonight, I want you to go to the back table and pick up this brand new brochure. It's about how libraries transform, and it's got programming all over Waukesha and Jefferson County. And just to give you an idea, you can have tea with Mrs. Lincoln at the Heartland Public Library. You can go to a Mardi Gras celebration in Menominee Falls. You can meet a great horned owl at the Oconomowoc Public Library. You can meet Harry Houdini at the New Berlin Public Library. And you can meet Abraham Lincoln at the Waukesha Public Library. And how many of you are in the 62% that have library cards? Can I see? All right, that's fantastic. But this is hot off the presses, and on the back, all the libraries in Waukesha and Jefferson are listed, and if you visit 3 of them, you can be entered in a prize drawing. Okay, the next issue, and I would say this has already been mentioned, one of our biggest issues is the heroin and opiate epidemic. How many of you know someone who has had some drug or alcohol problems in their life? Can I see hands? Majority of people. Well, about 9 years ago, I started being involved in a group called the Waukesha County Drug-Free Communities Coalition. And our mission is to try to prevent drug and alcohol use by young people. And if before you leave tonight, if you'd like to get on our mailing list, please give me something with your email. I can add you to the list. But I would like to invite you this Friday from 8:30 to 10 at the Health and Human Services building. We are having a meeting in room 114. Our guest speaker will be one of our staff people, Adam Kindred, who's going to tell his own story of substance abuse that started in high school and his journey. He went through a lot of things, but the good thing is he had a successful recovery, and now he's working for us and doing really good work. One of the things that we produced that I would encourage you to take with you, this is in the back, and this is fairly new. This is the Opiates and Heroin Waukesha County Information Guide. It's got a lot of great resources and information that I'm sure you or families or neighbors would benefit. So that's the second thing that I encourage you to use. So, in my remaining time, I would tell you City of Waukesha and Waukesha County is one of the safest places that you could live, and statistically, that's why Waukesha has been recognized. I do want to recognize our Waukesha Police Chief, Chief Jack, who does an outstanding job, and our Fire Chief, Chief Howard, he also does an outstanding job. And I can just tell you, my wife and I live on Prairie Avenue. We enjoy seeing the police and fire going by our house all the time. They're very active. I want to conclude by saying when I was mayor of Waukesha, there were a couple big issues that I worked on. And even though it's been 8 years since I was mayor, it's exciting to me to see some of these things coming to fruition. Great Lakes Water, which I helped pass, the Great Lakes Water Compact passed, and the Common Council voted to move forward with that 8 years ago. We got approval by 8 governors, 4 Democrats, 4 Republicans. When's the last time you heard of a bipartisan group of elected officials agreeing on something? And they did, because the science supported our water application, and hopefully In about 4 years, we'll have Great Lakes Water. Another issue that I helped negotiate with former County Exec Varakis was the West Bypass. Hopefully that will become a reality by the end of this year. You're going to be hearing about baseball tonight. I will tell you that I worked on that issue. We had a 10-4 council vote in favor. The person at that time, his financing fell through when the recession hit. But I'll just mention the reason I supported it then and now is economic development, tourism, more people using our park, and think what it would do for the city and county identity to be wearing hats and shirts of our own team. And I know some of you disagree, but I want to encourage you to go to the informational meeting this coming Monday at 7 p.m. at City Hall. Finally, how many people are planning to vote on February 20th? Okay. How many people didn't know there's something to vote for on February 20th? Our city judge, Joe Cook, is retiring. I'm happy to point out Steve Wimmer, who is one of 3 excellent candidates for judge. There are 3 candidates, so follow the newspaper, go online, but on February 20th, we'll eliminate one of those 3 candidates. Also, on February 20th, we have 3 Supreme Court candidates. One of them will be eliminated, and there'll be information on that. And then, April 3rd, you've already heard from Laura, this is one of 2 candidates for county judge. The final 2 city judge candidates, the final 2 Supreme Court candidates. I want to recognize Diane Voigt, who's running for school board. So she's one of 4 candidates running for Waukesha School Board, and all 25 county supervisors are running. And I will tell you, even those of us that are running unopposed, we appreciate you showing up and voting for us, or if you don't want to vote for us, you can write someone in. But please vote. That was one of my biggest disappointments as mayor. I think my first election, I ran against 6 other people and only 22% voted. My re-election, 5 candidates, it was only 25%. So that's what I would like to leave you with. I would like to thank my wife, Dawn. Those chocolate chip cookies, I can tell you now, after 12 years, helped me get elected mayor, because when the volunteers came to my house, we said, you'll always have Dawn's cookies. So thank you, Dawn, and thank you all for coming tonight.
Yeah, any questions? Yes.
Is the county board planning to sue the city of Waukesha to remove the historic landmark designation on the old Moore Mudbath building so they can tear it down?
I'll try to give you the quick history. That building is a local landmark and a state landmark. The administration proposed tearing it down for more parking. I think it was 3 years ago, the majority of the board voted to delay demolition. Then we had a developer who wanted to make it into apartments, but the request for proposal committee felt the developer didn't do a good enough job, and I was in the minority because I believe the building should be saved, but the majority voted for demolition, and then the county went to the Landmarks Commission, which denied permission.
Unanimous.
The county appealed that to the Administrative Review Board. The Review Board upheld the decision of the Landmarks Commission. The one part of the area that is not controversial, the old dormitory, that did just get approved by the county Public Works Committee to demolish that building. That everyone agreed was not really part of the issue. So the ball is really in the county administration's court. I understand there may be another developer out there that may come forward with a proposal, but I think the administration's position is still they'd like it to come down. After this April 3rd election, I think at least a third of the board will not have weighed in on that issue, so it's to be continued. You can Paul may know more as chair, but at this point, it's kind of out of our hands.
Wait, that's the short version?
Yes, yes, it's been going on for 3 years.
Any other questions?
Thank you all for being good listeners.